Hey everyone, how are you guys? Thank you for tuning in to our career related podcast. And today we're going to be talking about nursing. So, Professor Irfan, could you introduce yourself, please?
Absolutely. My name is Irfan. I am an undergraduate program director for the second entry nursing program at York University. In addition to that, I am an infection prevention and control lead at Monchong. In addition to that, I am a clinical operational manager at Halton Healthcare. So basically, Oakville, Milton, and Georgetown Hospital.
Nice, a lot of nursing jobs, which is why you're, a perfect candidate for this nursing podcast. So Professor Irfan, guys, he's my professor from York University. So a lot of people are really interested in the career of nursing, especially after the pandemic. So like, if somebody is thinking about going to the field, like, what advice would you give them to help them decide with nursing school? And what would you say?
Um, I think the best advice that can be given to anybody who is planning any kind of journey is to do your homework. Whether you're going to take a program in nursing or in life sciences or neurological sciences or anything, do your homework. Know where it would lead you to. So, for example, in terms of nursing, when people are joining, you need to be good in a few subjects. You need to be good in biology, in English, math. If you're good, that would also be helpful, as well as chemistry. If you're good in those four subjects, your life will be much easier. You'll be able to understand the concept. Number two thing, I hope you will be able to put your life in a way that gives you time to study. If you have too many responsibilities from your family, from your job, from your friends, from other areas, that would become difficult. So do your homework, set yourself up for success. And nursing itself is a very, very, very promising career to a point where it has been projected by OECD that we are going to have shortage of nurses for the next 30 years. So you will always be in demand, at least for the first 20 to 30 years of your career. So I think that can be said about a lot of other careers. It's a government job, it's a stable job, but do your homework. You need to know what you're getting in. For example, there are sometimes people who want to get into nursing, but they are like, oh, I would have gotten into nursing, but I'm so scared of blood. You don't even have to draw blood in a lot of fields in nursing. For example, if you're
Um,
working as a community nurse, you don't have to draw blood. If you're working as a case manager, you never have to draw blood. If you're
Absolutely.
working as a nursing advocate, you don't have to draw blood. If you're working as an educator, you never have to draw blood. So don't let one aspect debilitate your urge. You have the ability to do it, you should enroll into it, but do your homework.
Yeah, that's true. And that would actually, my next question was gonna be, like, can you like just give a general overview of all the different specialties and all the variety? Because there's so much to do in nursing. People only think about hospital nursing, bedside nursing, but there's just like so much to do. So yeah, can you talk more about that as well?
We can speak about specialties based on the age. We can also speak about specialties based on the area and different things that we do. So let's speak about age. So you can work with pediatric population. For example, if you don't want to carry heavy load, you can work with pediatrics. They are light, easy to manage, and you can play with them. You can always keep them entertained. You can work with adult population. You can work with geriatrics, who are the older adults. So that's one kind of differentiation based on age. Another one is based on organ. So for example, you can work in neuro, people who may require a bit of help in terms of issues going on with their brain. You can work with people who have cardiac disorders, respiratory disorders, kidney disorders, liver disorders. So that's based on the organ. GI disorders, you can work with them. In addition to that, if you don't want to work at all in the clinical field, so there's another differentiation. You can have clinical areas of nursing or non-clinical areas of nursing. Clinical areas of nursing is where you do have to do blood work and deal with blood. But if you don't want to deal with blood, Then you can work in non-clinical areas where you can do case management, where you can do a lot of um, you can be an outbreak investigator. You can be a public health inspector. You can work for Ministry of Long-Term Care, Ministry of Health, Ministry of actually all the Toronto Public Health, all the public health departments. So there are those clinical and non-clinical areas as well. You can work as a school nurse. You can work as a community nurse. You can work as a psychiatric nurse. A lot of areas, especially.
So yeah, guys, as you can see, like there's so much that you can do. It's okay if you don't necessarily know your specialty or which area you want to work in yet, because in nursing school you get to also like every semester is like a different clinical like placement. So you try different things, so that helps you like get an idea of like where you want to be. But as you can see, there's like so much, as Professor Irfan said, there's like mental health, there's like hospital nursing, there's nursing opportunities in management, there's like nursing opportunities working with kids and everything. Like there's just so much. So yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, there's just so much to learn. So I really like this field as well. Yeah. Another thing I want to talk about is a lot of people sometimes don't want to go into nursing, or sometimes they look at the downside of nursing, but oh, it's so many like we do a lot of long hours, like 12 hour shifts, or sometimes doing night shifts on the regular and on your schedule. So if somebody is in that position, what is some advice to help them deal with the long hours and night shifts and stuff like that?
I love 12-hour shifts, and I would explain why I like them. If you're working 8-hour days, that means you have to go to office 5 times a week, and you have to come back from your office 5 times a week. If you're working 12-hour days, number one, your shift is going to start at a time where you're not going to be involved in rush hour. So you will be starting at 7 o'clock in the morning when you don't have rush hour, or 7 o'clock in the evening when you don't have rush hour. Number two, you only have to be there 3 days a week. Don't you want to be in a field where you can get 4 days a week off? And that's in a full-time job. You can also have various types of schedule. There are people who are doing 2-day shift, they will do 2 night shifts, and then they get 5 days off.
Mm-hmm.
So they work 4 days, they get 5 days off. They work 4 days, they get 5 days off. In nursing, when you are working, so in terms of numbers, because I am a big believer in number, I don't think we should be beating around the bush. We should be speaking with numbers and facts on our side. When someone is working 5 days a week, they are going to end up working about 260 days, because you have 52 weeks, 104 days for the weekend, 2 days per week. You have Saturday and Sunday. So times 52, that's 104. So if you minus 105 out of 365, which is the number of days, so you will be end up with 260 days. So if you are working 5 days a week, you will be working 260 days.
A year.
But if you are working in nursing, you will probably work close to about 170 days. So you work 170 days, you get close to about 200 days off in a year. So you have more time for yourself. You can use that time for a lot of things. You can use that time for rest. You can spend time with your family if that was your major concern. You can spend time with your kids. You can spend time with your grandkids, grandparents, anybody you like. That's number one thing. Number two thing is, if you are a person who is coming from a background where you did not have that much financial cushion, you did not have that much support, you also have the ability to extend your hours. When you're working 5 days a week, the only way you can extend your hours is by working 7 days a week or 6 days a week. But in nursing, if you're working 3 days a week, you can extend your hours by working 4 days a week. And that would also boost your income.
Absolutely.
So it is possible in nursing for students to make double the amount of a full-time nurse just by increasing the number of hours they work. And it's very easy to increase a number of hours because we are always short. We always need nurses.
Yeah, so sounds really good. Lots of variety, lots of different areas to learn. And it's also possible to have so much time off because I know some people like their party is family time and doing things and downtime or vacation, whatever it is, and for other people hustle less and more and make their income. That's also possible as well. So yeah, that's really cool and stuff. And also, something that I think a lot of people may not know about is agency nursing. So if you can just touch on that a little bit as well.
Absolutely. Um, we don't have enough nurses in the hospitals and in the clinical area. In order for us to fill the gap, so for example, let's say if I am working on a unit and that unit has 50 patients, and normally we are going to have 12 nurses on the unit for a day shift. The meaning of 12 nurses will be one nurse is in charge, and then the rest of the nurses will get anywhere between 4 to 5 patients. They'll take care of those. Now, let's say out of those 12 nurses, there's huge right now, there are a lot of respiratory outbreaks. Let's say 2 or 3 nurses are not feeling well. They may have flu, they may have RSV, they may have COVID. But if they are not feeling well, then the number of nurses have gone down to 9. But the number of patients is still the same, it's still at 50. So in that kind of situation, the first thing we are going to do is we are going to try to call the other nurses who were working on the unit. If those nurses say yes, then we are going to pay them overtime and bring them over, and they will work with us. If the nurses who we called say that they are not available because of other family commitments or other things, then we are going to call outside of our facility. So if I work for a hospital and I've tried all the nurses on that unit or in that hospital and no one is available to work, then I will call outside into a staffing office and I'll ask them, can you please send 2 or 3 nurses? And they may be able to send 2 or 3 nurses. And with their presence, we will be back up to 12 nurses for 50 patients. So we can provide better care. Now, this is a kind of situation where we must find the staff. We have to find the staff because we cannot all of a sudden make those 50 patients disappear. They're going to be there. They need staff to take care of them. So the best we can do in that kind of situation is look for agency staff. Clearly, if people are working for agency, they are going to come at a premium. So the premium is going to be normally when you start in nursing, your starting salary is going to be about $35. But if you're working for an agency, they will probably start you at $40 or maybe a little more. Or another example is if you are working in a specialty area like ER or 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 ICU, then your starting salary may be about $80 or $100 with the agency as compared to $35 with the hospital.
I see. So yeah, so basically an agency nurse is when basically a substitute nurse is needed. And sometimes because they're agency, because they're going to different places, have to adapt well. They do get paid a little bit more. So if anyone wants to like look into more financial opportunities, that agency nursing is something. But you do have to be very good at adapting to like new places. You're going to new patients you haven't seen, and everything. And yeah, that sounds really cool. So I and then travel nursing. I just a little bit more about travel nursing.
Absolutely. So there are a lot of places where nurses work. I had a nursing colleague, and people come up with amazing dreams. And her dream was 30 before 30. And I asked her, what is the meaning of 30 before 30? She said she's going to travel 30 countries before she turns 30.
Wow.
And the way she was traveling was that she will get a job in one country for 6 months. She'll go and work there, and then she'll move to another country.
Okay.
So that's basically how she was traveling. The way you can do that, so that's one way of doing that. That's just one way. Another way of doing that is you can do something called cruise ship nursing. All these cruise ships, they usually have a nursing officer there. Normally, an ICU trained nurse. If someone falls in ill, they will take care of them. So you can do cruise ship nursing. That's another option available. And that way you can travel to a lot of places. Another option is that you can work in transporting patients. So if you're moving patients from one country to another, if you're moving patients from one city to another, you can also do that. I have a student who is currently working in cosmetics, but she only works with she works in a clinic that only deals with very, very high-end clients. And recently, uh, she went to drop a patient to Greece from Toronto, and she was traveling in a private jet with the patient. And then when she went there, she decided to take a couple of weeks off from her job so she can have a vacation as well. So basically, she's having to transport patients from her cosmetic clinic to various countries, and whichever country she goes, she takes about a week or two off.
That's very nice. Sounds really
And you get a
adventurous.
premium for travel nursing. One other aspect of travel nursing is where people will work. Let's say you can go to Qatar, you can go to Kuwait, you can go to Dubai, where you sign a contract for 1 year, and you are getting paid to go there. While you're off, you can travel, you can explore the country.
That sounds really nice. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning into our nursing podcast. I hope you learned a lot. As you can see, there's so much like variety, like different fields you can work in, lots of opportunities for financial growth, even for traveling and everything. So thank you, Professor Irfan, for your time, and I hope everyone enjoyed. And see you guys next time.
Take care, everybody. Have a very good day. And please do consider nursing. It is a very promising career, and we need more people in nursing. So please do consider. Thank you.